It's time to stop a merger. Me and you, we're going to stop a merger that's dangerous for the public interest. And we've already started, and you know the merger I'm talking about because we talked about it before. But let me give you an update. Remember back in September when two huge local broadcast station owners, one called Sinclair and one called Nexstar, decided they were going to yank Jimmy Kimmel off the air. Why? Because they had clout and they had ability, because they controlled so many stations, and they didn't like the fact that Jimmy Kimmel made a joke that upset Donald Trump, and these stations lean conservative. We protested Disney so hard because Disney owns ABC, and Disney went along with it. The Disney was like, never mind, we're putting it back. We got it put back. But not before it reminded us all the dangers of too many local stations being owned by one company. Now, so the merger I'm talking about is Nexstar trying to acquire Tegna. Nexstar already owns 47% of the market. They are already exceeding the cap. The United States government says that no one company can own more than 30% of all local stations across this country. They already have 47. And with 47%, look what they were able to do. Now they're trying to acquire Tegna, which will give them 80%. They're going to need a waiver anyway. It's key to note that last year during the third quarter earnings call, the president of Tegna, president of Nexstar, Perry Sook, said that while he thinks that legislation would be needed to raise the ownership cap above 39%, they're already exceeding it. Again, remember, they already have a waiver of the cap. They own about 45% of the market. And he acknowledges that you would need legislation because the cap was established because of Congress. However, he thinks that on an administrative level, the FCC could raise the cap on their own. Please note this. He's hoping that the FCC can do it just unilaterally, something that Trump is doing. He's ignoring Congress and just doing it on an administrative level because the executive branch of the government just wants to allow whatever's good for the businesses and have no cares to what's good for the public interest or the people. But we have to stop it. We already know the dangers. Sinclair Broadcasting has been called out multiple times by Deadspin, by other stations for repeated. I'm going to play for you a segment that PBS did updating it. This is for the second time. This happened, I think, in 2014, and it happened again in 2018 when all of Sinclair stations were repeating this thing called must-air content. They were repeating it, and the dangers of that, it helps promote propaganda, and that the dangers when the propaganda is coming from one political spectrum. It's a lot of people. They said something like 47% of people trust local news compared to 27% trusting national news. So local news is trustworthy. If you have one station that leans one, in this case, right, and they're submitting must-say news, this is what you get. First, listen to this segment from PBS.
Most of us think of local news as just that, local. Stations run local stories produced and reported by local people. But if recently you tuned in to, say, WVTV, which is Sinclair's station in Milwaukee, you saw this.
Does the president have to repeat that fact day in and day out for us to believe it?
That's Boris Epstein, former member of the Trump administration and now chief political analyst for Sinclair. And here he was again on WEAR in Pensacola.
The president stating the fact that the fringes of the left and the right,
and on KSAS in Wichita,
are both capable of hate and violence does not mean he's condoning any of it.
And again on every single one of the 193 Sinclair stations across the country. Eric Lipton is a reporter for the New York Times who's been covering Sinclair.
They have, what they call must-runs, which include Boris Epstein, who is a surrogate for Trump, who is, on the air talking about conservative issues. While the local news stations largely decide what their local news is going to be, a covering of local government crime and local issues, there are these must-runs that go on their networks across the United States, which have a decidedly conservative flavor.
This partisan tilt has many free speech advocates alarmed because not only does Sinclair own such a large chunk of the marketplace already, but it's hoping to get bigger still. If a proposed $4 billion merger with Tribune Media goes forward, Sinclair would now reach 3 out of 4 American households. Journalism professor Louis Friedland.
It is a real step in a very different direction to begin to say that the most trusted news source of most Americans is going to be allowed to be turned into an opinion organization, opinion machine for a very narrowly conservative point of view night after night in local communities.
Television remains the main source of news for many Americans. In 2016, 46% of adults said they got their news from local TV stations. And it's information they trust. 41% of registered voters said they trust local news to tell the truth, while just 27% trust national news. Sinclair disputes having any kind of a political bent. Its executives declined to talk with us on camera for this report.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
This weekend, the online site Deadspin created this compilation of dozens of Sinclair's local newscasters recording an identical promo accusing the national media of spreading fake news.
An agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 Now, you see the dangers, and that's at the end of that segment, they mentioned how if they merge, they're going to own more. That merger went through during the last Trump administration. So now you have the other partner in crime, Nexstar, a new Trump administration saying, we want in on that. We want some more stations. And so this is it. I'm going to walk you through how to stand up and say no. The process, I already teased this up before earlier. That's it. When it comes down, I'm going to let you know the docket number, how to fill this out on the mobile, and how to walk through and fill it out on a desktop as well. So look at the mobile version now. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to FCC.gov, and up in the right corner, you see the 3 hamburger signs in the corner. We're going to hit that. You're going to scroll down to Proceedings and Actions, and then you're going to go to Electronic Comment Filing System, and there you're going to type in under Proceeding, go to Proceeding, hit 25, you're going to start auto population dash 331, and you see it's going to show it. Media bid, hit that, enter. And that's the one. Media bid establishes proceedings for transfer control to Tegna, to Nexstar. Next thing you're going to do, you're going to hit express comment. So you have 2 different options. You have a standard filing or express comment. Most people just do express filings. So you hit a new filing, and here you're going to enter your name. So here I'm going to say, put your whatever name you want to appear. This is going to be on the website. Legal name, optional, your law firm, attorney, primary. You can hit your JJ at jjlegal.com. Then you're going to hit the file. You don't need the file number. You need to worry about that. Your address is required. Now, here you can do it. You could put a P.O. box if you want to, but it's required. So I'm going to put P.O. box, whatever your P.O. box is. This is Bowie, Maryland. The state is, scroll down to your state, Maryland. Zip code is 20720. And here you have the option to attach a document. And then you can hit continue the screen to review, and it's going to set. Now, you have another option. Instead of doing this, you can instead hit express comments. And that allows you to just do a brief comment. So what you're going to do is put in your name. So JJ Legal. Enter email. I'm going to call it inquiry at jjlegal.com. Your address, it's going to be publicly available. So you should have a P.O. box, or you could just perhaps just put your city and state. Bowie. State is required. You didn't make sure it's real people. Maryland. My zip code is 20720. Brief comment, and then here you're going to do is you're going to go to your note app where you've already cut and paste this. You're going to copy this document here. Just these words here. Copy. And you go to the brief comments and paste it in there. And then do you want to email confirmation as filing? Sure, why not? You check this box, acknowledge. Continue to screen below. And now here's your comments. And I'm not a robot. And then you submit it. And then once you submit it, it's going to show up. So let me see if I submit it. Submit it. Now it's submitted. And it has my proceeding. It has your confirmation number. Your status is received. Your email. So you're going to go down there. FCC.gov. You're going to scroll down to proceedings and actions. going to scroll over to electronic comment filing system. You click that and you scroll down to proceeding for the search. You're going to type in 25-331 and the actual proceeding should auto-populate. You see it here? I'm going to click that. When you click that, you're going to go to search. Now, it brings up 25 results. I was one of the last people to file. Since I filed this, Asian American Advancing, which they probably have a huge proceeding here. Richard Ackerman, I know this person. William Brenneman, I know those people. So there's only 25 of us here have opposed this. I'm sure they opposed it. Now your options are, you scroll over to the left, you can do a new filing, which will allow you to do a whole, a PDF with your thing. Let's say, for example, you can click here so you can see what they filed. It's a 4-page document opposing a merger, obviously. And if they have their name, it's a formal organization. Most people are not going to do that. So for regular folks like you and me, regular people who aren't necessarily an entity represented by a law firm, you just hit express. When you hit express, the proceeding auto-populates. Here you hit your name. I'm going to say, I don't want my name showing up anymore. You hit the name, I'm going to say J Legal, okay, JJ Legal 2. My address, I'm going to put J in inquiry at JJ Legal. I'm going to scroll down, put your address. Let's put P.O. Box 45243, whatever your P.O. Box is. The city, Bowie. Your state's required is a scroll box. Scroll down to Maryland. Zip code 20720. And then here you're going to, like usual, you're going to go to that place where you saved it. Where I saved it on a Notepad app. You can just copy it. And then you're going to go back to brief comments and paste it. And if you want an email confirmation, you say yes. If you click this note, it's letting you know that this is going to be, because the FCC is a public, your name and your address will be publicly available via the web. The FCC website only shows your name, but at some point, somewhere, your address may be included. That's why it's important to either use a P.O. box, or if you have an entity or organization that are encouraging people to submit comments and they allow you to put their address, you can do that. You hit notes and then you continue to review the screen. Oops, I have an error. Move things. I forgot to put the .com. And then you hit continue to review screen, and it gives you the screen, and then you hit I am not a robot and submit. After you submit, just like with my original comment, it's going to appear there. And that's it. That's how you do it in desktop. And as I teased earlier, if you want to just screenshot the words that's right here, to screenshot this, a lot of apps on your phone will allow you to copy this. Now, if you want to get a nice one that has a lot of extra juice that talks specifically about the impact and role from you, like if you're in one of those markets and you were negatively impacted specifically, you want to go in details, or you want to do it on behalf of your business, you want your letterhead to go in there, you want a bigger one, I'm going to put a link here where you can go. Actually, and the link inside, you watch this on YouTube, go to YouTube. If you're not watching this on YouTube, it's the easiest place to go. Or you can go to jjlegal.com or go to YouTube, and you're going to be able to download a copy of the, I guess I'll make it a Word doc of a template that you can use. You can just copy and paste a template. However, it's going to be in exchange for, I'm going to make it a lead magnet. You can get it in exchange for becoming a member of my newsletter and my email list, because you never know the type of content I do. It's controversial, it's polarizing. At any given moment, you never know. The social media platforms can remove me. So I'm building a list and ability to communicate with folks who've chosen to watch my content. And I think if you're interested in this and you're going to write a letter, you might be that type of person. So when you sign up for that, you'll automatically be in my email list. And if you want to just join my email list, you can also just join it on jjlegal.com. There's a button there on the top You can join it that way as well. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Anyway, yeah, so there we have it. So let's get on this. And so the list, it was about 22. When I first did it, I was a 22nd comment. So when I check back in next week, I fully expect the rest of you guys to get on it. We can see we can stop this merger, because otherwise it's what's called arbitrary and capricious. If they have millions, I'm not never going to get to millions. If you have thousands of comments saying this is dangerous for local ownership, this is dangerous for propaganda spreading, this is dangerous because it depletes and like options, so bad for cost, it's bad for local journalism, it's bad for local journalists, it's bad for diversity of viewpoints, it's just bad overall. And we see the impact of it from what happened when the Jimmy Kimmel example. And it's too late because y'all did it with Sinclair, and look what Sinclair's been able to do. Yeah. Change it legal. Each one teach one. Share this video widely so more people know. And so, yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to check back in. And follow this account wherever you're following this, because I'll check back in, and I'm going to just give you an update to see where we are. We're starting at 22. It's your chance to be active and mobilized. I know you're excited. A lot of folks ask me about it. Like, let me know. We're ready to go. We're ready to go. I'm going to, I wonder if there's a way for me to personally ping everyone who says, let me know the do, let me know the process, let me know the steps. I'm going to send my assistant to go down and ping all the people who said they want to know when it's time to go. Because it's time to go. Like Mariah Carey said, it's time. All right.